My favorite thing about Marvel is that it doesn't portray its superheroes as, well, powerful ultimate gods that are perfect in every way. Instead, it portrays its heroes as, well, imperfect. They are flawed. They are human. Marvel isn't about heroes with superpowers. It's about ordinary people who rise to extraordinary challenges. My favorite example is Captain America, otherwise known as Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers in the beginning was just some ordinary skinny guy from Brooklyn. He didn't have super strength or super intelligence. He didn't have any superpowers, but he was willing to throw himself on a grenade to save his fellow comrades. Many may say the moment that Steve Rogers became a hero was the moment that he joined Project Rebirth, or maybe it was when he defeated Red Skull. But I say the moment that Steve Rogers became a hero was the moment he was willing to sacrifice himself for others. That moment made him a true hero. One moment was all it took. One moment was all it took for my mom to become the most extraordinary hero in my life. My mom is kind of like Captain America. She's strong, she's confident, and she has a whole ton of courage. But the difference between my mom and Captain America is that she's never taken any super soldier serum, and she sure doesn't have a shield made of vibranium. No. Her shield was her body. That moment came when I was 8 years old. I watched as my mom cradled my little brother in her hands, and as his father charged at her. BAM! He hit her. BAM! He hit her again. She fell to her knees, she smiled at my brother, and then she looks at me and my sister. And BAM! 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 Over and over and over again. I run to get my phone. I reached up to get my phone and called 911 hands. My mom took my little brother, my little sister, and I, and took us away from him. Unfortunately, the world is cruel. In that same year, we fell into poverty and homelessness. I watched as my mom's shield cracked more and more and more every day. But she always kept a smile on her face. My mom inspired me to create a shield of my own, one that was bigger, brighter, and stronger. And when that shield started to crack, I had my friends, I had my family, and I had my amazing sponsor, Ms. Valerie Powell, who gave me the scholarship here today to speak with all of you, to inspire you to create your own shields. But you may say, well, shields may protect us from problems, but they do nothing to solve the problems. Shields can't be problem-solving weapons, can they? My response to that is ask Captain America himself. Shields break barriers. Shields break statements like, I can't go to college, I can't be successful, I can't achieve my dreams. Shields break barriers. Shields turn can'ts into cans. Now you may say, shields may break barriers, but they do nothing to eliminate the barriers. In 2024, 770,000 people on any given night were experiencing homelessness, according to the Department of Housing and Urban Development. And in 2023, 36.8 million people were living in poverty, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. And over 15 million children live in households of domestic violence abuse, according to the Department of Health and Human Services. What do shields do to solve those problems? What do shields do to eliminate those barriers? My response to that is, shields may break barriers. Shields may save us from today's problems. But it's when we lower our shields and make ourselves vulnerable that we're no longer a statistic that politicians throw around, but a living, breathing human being that they must stand eye to eye with. It is in that moment of greatness that we address our issues face to face. We work together to solve the problems of today. So the message of my speech is, for you as student governments to cast a great shield of protection around your fellow students, to protect them from the outside world's problems, and to encourage them to build shields of their own, so they may bust down some barriers, so they may protect themselves and others, and so that when they lower their shields and make themselves vulnerable, that they're able to solve the problems of today for the people of tomorrow. Marvel isn't about heroes with superpowers. It's about extraordinary people who rise to extraordinary challenges. In a marvelous world of leadership, it is our duty to become Captain Americas and use our shields to bust down some barriers and become vulnerable to solve the problems of today. Thank you.